In and out of lockdown really just reduced my life to two main things: online school and video games. Now, seeing that's a common trend for people, especially at my age, I'll talk about the one thing that simultaneously drove me crazy but also kept me sane, that being my IB film course. The IB is a high school diploma program where I took film and many other classes, but film was by far my favorite. This is probably due to the creative leeway and character building assessment. However, most of the films could only be shot at home with highly limited resources, which often gave me creative ones without creative means to fill them. Despite this, whenever we would get a new film task to recreate a genre or write our own script, it was somehow refreshing. Now, this may sound cheesy, but with every new film I shot in my apartment, it kinda gave the place a new mood afterward, which was really nice, especially during lockdown. Each time I sort of saw it in a new light, which was really creatively inspiring. So despite my pretty linear life of online school and video games, film was a really unique source of creativity, which is I guess why I'm doing a media course today. Okay, the reading. I found it really interesting how it kind of described the two major ways of creation and kind of left it up to the viewer to evaluate them and see which one resonated more with them. For example, in the workshop, there's tons of different varying perspectives on it, which I thought was pretty cool. Personally, I aligned myself with the craftsman method, but interestingly, just reflecting on my previous work in film or whatever I've made, I tend to take the more passion method. I tend to objectively agree more with the craftsman, yet subconsciously I always move towards the passionate one. From now on, I'll probably end up just being a lot more aware of how I'm creating and trying to achieve that craftsman mindset at all times instead of just drifting off to the passionate mindset, because I feel like my work will, blossom because of it.
Today, I interviewed 3 students from RMIT University, and here's what they had to say about learning during COVID times. So how has your learning experience been at university so far?
It's been good, I would say. It's been good. I have enjoyed getting in here and seeing people. Certainly challenges is with online learning, but what's new about that? But yeah, it's been good so far.
So far it's been pretty freeing after being in high school for 2 years in lockdown. It's been really good to be back on a campus and back doing work that I really want to do in my course and all that. So it's been really good so far.
It's been good.
One thing that I learned with the interview during filming is getting little continuity consistencies right, such as eye line, headspace, the direction of the interview and interviewees are facing. This is because even just a little break of these conventions could send a signal of unprofessionalism and carelessness to the audience, which kind of breaks down the idea of a formal interview. Another thing I learned was how well B-roll and overlays can work with the dialogue of the interview, where things can just line up and create a sense of uniformity even if it's subconsciously made. An example of this in my doco is when the B-roll of Jamie is shown where he climbs the wall with the "do not climb" sign, and I found that it lined up with him talking about doing something if he sets his mind to it, so I thought that was kind of a comedic coincidence. Overall, I think making this doco helps us learn the skill of being cohesive between the production stages, where each stage is kind of being taken into account the entire time. This allows us to try our best to tick every single box we can and be as mindful as possible when creating something, and hopefully this carries over to whatever other creative venture we want to go on to.
As if I know I can do something if I set my mind to it. Ultimately, I really want to be able to give it my all, and we'll see what happens.